Welcome back to my channel, Old Quarter $U.S.A. What if a single Washington quarter hiding in your pocket could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Washington quarter dollar coin values, uncovering their iconic designs, rich history, hidden treasures, and the ultra-rare coins every collector dreams of finding. In this video, we'll reveal the top 3 most valuable and expensive Washington quarters from the United States. We'll explore rare P, DS, and no mint mark coins, amazing mint errors, different color shades, silver varieties, and even worn or dirty coins that could still be worth a fortune top one. Today, we are uncovering one of the most talked about coins in American history, the 1965 Washington quarter with no mint mark. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary 25-cent coin that millions of people have seen. It may be scratched, dirty, faded, or hidden inside an old coin jar, yet many collectors still search through pocket change hoping to discover a rare example. But can this coin really be worth a fortune? Can it truly make someone rich overnight? Stay with me until the end because the real history, the hidden varieties, and the surprising values behind this famous quarter are far more fascinating than most people realize. The story begins in 1965, a year that completely changed American coinage forever. During the early 1960s, the United States experienced a serious coin shortage. People were saving silver coins because the value of the silver inside them was increasing. As a result, the government decided to stop using 90% silver in circulating quarters. The 1965 Washington quarter became the very first regular circulating quarter struck with a copper core covered by a layer of copper nickel instead of solid silver. This single decision marked the end of an era and changed the future of American coins forever. One of the biggest reasons collectors become excited about the 1965 quarter is the missing mint mark. Many people believe that having no mint mark automatically makes the coin incredibly rare. The truth is more interesting. In 1965, the United States Mint intentionally removed mint marks from all circulating coins to discourage collectors from pulling new coins out of circulation. That means every normal 1965 Washington quarter was made without a mint mark. So a missing mint mark alone does not make the coin valuable. Understanding the simple fact can save collectors from paying too much for an ordinary coin. Even though millions of these quarters were produced, condition changes everything. Most 1,965 quarters spent decades passing from one hand to another. They picked up scratches, stains, worn edges, and faded details. These circulated coins are usually worth only their face value or a small premium. However, if someone discovers a nearly perfect example with sharp details, brilliant surfaces, and almost no signs of wear, collectors may pay significantly more because such high-grade survivors are much harder to find than ordinary circulated pieces. Now let's talk about the coins that truly excite experienced collectors. Some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets intended for earlier 90% silver quarters. These rare mint errors look almost identical to normal quarters, but they weigh slightly more and contain real silver. Because only a tiny number escaped into circulation, genuine examples have sold for thousands of dollars at major coin auctions. These are the kinds of discoveries that inspire collectors to continue searching through old collections and inherited coin boxes. Another category that brings strong prices is mint errors. During production, machines sometimes created double designs, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, or other unusual mistakes. These errors are much scarcer than normal coins and are highly desirable among collectors. The more dramatic and well-preserved the error, the greater the potential value. Every unusual feature tells a story of a mistake that occurred inside the mint, making each error coin unique in its own way. Many online videos claim that every dirty 1965 quarter is worth millions, or that every old quarter can instantly make you a billionaire. Those claims are designed to attract attention, but they are not accurate. Real coin values depend on rarity, condition, authenticity, and collector demand. An ordinary circulated 1965 no mint mark quarter is not worth millions simply because it is old or dirty. The coins that achieve spectacular auction prices are usually extraordinary mint errors or exceptionally preserved examples certified by professional grading services. If you think you have a valuable 1965 quarter, never clean it. Cleaning removes the original surface and often reduces collector value. Instead, examine the coin carefully. Check its weight. Look for unusual errors. Compare the details with known varieties. And if you believe it may be special, have it authenticated by a respected grading company. A genuine rare error can be worth far more than an ordinary quarter, but professional verification is essential before assuming a coin has extraordinary value. The history of the Washington quarter itself makes this coin even more meaningful. The design honors George Washington, the first president of the United States. Introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth, the quarter has become one of the most recognizable American coins ever made. The 1965 issue represents a historic turning point because it marked the transition from a nation's traditional silver circulating coinage to modern clad coin production, making it an important chapter in American numismatic history. So, is the 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter capable of changing someone's life? In very rare situations, yes. A genuine silver planchet error, a remarkable mint error, or an exceptionally high-grade certified example can be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. But the average circulated coin is usually worth only a small amount above face value. The real treasure lies in knowledge. By understanding the history, the minting process, and the characteristics that make certain coins genuinely rare, you can avoid common myths and recognize a truly valuable discovery if it ever appears in your collection. If you enjoyed learning the true story behind the 1965 Washington quarter, don't forget to subscribe, and continue exploring the amazing world of rare American coins with us next Top 2. Today, we're exploring one of the most mysterious and fascinating coins in American history, the 1984 D. Washington quarter. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than an ordinary 25-cent coin that millions of Americans carry in their pockets every day. It may be scratched, dirty, faded, or forgotten inside an old drawer, but some examples have surprised collectors with values far beyond their original face value. Hidden mint errors, outstanding condition, and rare collector demand have transformed a few ordinary-looking coins into remarkable discoveries. So before you spend any old quarter, watch this video until the very end, because your next great coin discovery could be hiding where you least expect it. The story of the 1984 D. Washington quarter begins at the Denver Mint, where millions of these quarters were struck for everyday circulation. By 1984, American quarters were no longer made from 90% silver. Instead, they were produced using a copper core covered with copper nickel, creating the familiar silver-colored appearance that most people recognize today. Although they were intended for daily use, these coins became part of a long-running series that collectors continue to study decades later. Every year of production has its own history, and the 1984 D issue remains an important piece of that story. Most 1984 D quarters found in circulation today are worth only their face value because they were produced in large numbers. However, coin collecting has never been about age alone. What truly matters is rarity, condition, and uniqueness. A quarter that has remained almost untouched since leaving the mint can be far more valuable than one that spent decades in circulation. Coins with brilliant original luster, razor-sharp details, and virtually no wear are difficult to find, making them highly desirable among serious collectors. One of the biggest reasons collectors search for the 1984 D quarter is the possibility of discovering a genuine mint error. During production, mistakes occasionally occurred when dies shifted, planchets were damaged, or striking equipment malfunctioned. These accidents created fascinating coins featuring double designs, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, broad strikes, or other unusual characteristics. Because every authentic mint error is different, collectors often compete to own these unique pieces, especially when the errors are dramatic and professionally authenticated. Another important factor influencing value is professional grading. Two quarters in the same year may appear similar to an untrained eye, yet one could be worth only 25 cents while another may sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars because it earned an exceptionally high mint state grade. Professional grading services carefully evaluate surface preservation, strike quality, luster, and eye appeal. Coins that survive in extraordinary condition become increasingly rare with each passing year, making them prized additions to advanced collections. Many people believe that a dirty or dark-colored quarter automatically means it is rare. In reality, dirt, tarnish, and discoloration usually do not increase value. In fact, cleaning a coin often causes permanent damage by removing its original mint surface. Experienced collectors prefer coins with natural, untouched surfaces because they preserve the coin's authenticity and history. If you believe your 1984 D quarter may be unusual, it is always better to leave it exactly as you found it rather than attempting to polish or clean it. The Washington quarter itself carries a remarkable legacy. Introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington on the 200th anniversary of his birth, the design quickly became one of America's most recognizable circulating coins. Over the decades, billions of Washington quarters have entered circulation, witnessing historic events, economic changes, and everyday life across the United States. The 1984 D issue represents one chapter in this long and respected history, connecting modern collectors with generations of American coinage. So how can you tell if your 1984 D quarter deserves a closer look? Begin by examining both sides under good lighting. Look carefully for unusual doubling in the lettering, missing design elements, striking abnormalities, or an off-center image. Check whether the coin still displays strong mint luster and sharp details. Compare it with a normal example whenever possible. If something appears genuinely unusual, professional authentication can determine whether the coin is an authentic mint error or simply an ordinary circulation coin. Stories about incredibly valuable coins continue to inspire collectors around the world because extraordinary discoveries have happened before. Rare mint errors and exceptional high-grade coins have sold for impressive amounts at major auctions. While most 1984 D quarters remain worth only face value, a small number with rare characteristics or outstanding preservation have attracted strong collector interest and significantly higher prices. That possibility keeps the excitement of coin collecting alive and encourages people to examine every old coin carefully. As we reach the end of today's journey, remember that the greatest treasure in coin collecting is knowledge. Understanding the history, the minting process, and the features that separate ordinary coins from truly collectible examples allows you to make informed decisions and avoid common misconceptions. The 1984 D. Washington quarter is more than just a piece of pocket change. It is a reminder that history can be found in the smallest everyday objects. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy discovering the hidden stories behind America's rare coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and join us for more incredible coin history in our next Top 3. Today we're uncovering the fascinating story behind the 1986 D. Washington quarter, a coin that millions of people have handled without ever realizing it could become a collector's treasure. It may be sitting in an old piggy bank, hidden inside a forgotten coin jar, or mixed with loose change in a kitchen drawer. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary 25-cent coin, but some examples have captured the attention of collectors because of their outstanding condition and rare mint errors. Before you spend your next 1986 D quarter, stay with us until the end, because the details behind this coin may completely change the way you look at everyday pocket change. The 1986 D. Washington quarter was produced at the Denver Mint during a period when the United States was manufacturing billions of circulating coins for everyday commerce. Unlike quarters made before 1965, this coin is not struck from 90% silver. Instead, it is made with a copper core surrounded by outer layers of copper nickel, giving it the familiar silver-colored appearance that Americans have recognized for decades. Although it was created for circulation rather than as a rare collectible, its place in the long-running Washington quarter series makes it an important part of modern American coin history. One of the biggest misconceptions surrounding the 1986 D quarter is that every old coin is automatically worth a fortune. In reality, most examples that have spent years in circulation remain worth only their face value. However, collecting is not simply about age. The coins that command premium prices are those with extraordinary preservation, remarkable eye appeal, or unusual minting errors that separate them from millions of ordinary pieces produced during the same year. Collectors carefully search for 1986 D quarters displaying mint errors because these accidental mistakes occur during the manufacturing process and make each affected coin unique. Off-center strikes, double design elements, die cracks, clip planchets, broad strikes, and other genuine mint errors are among the most desirable discoveries. Since these coins were never intended to leave the mint in imperfect condition, authentic error coins often attract significant attention whenever they appear in auctions or specialized collections. Condition is another powerful factor that influences value. A heavily circulated quarter with scratches, worn details, and dull surfaces may have little collector premium. On the other hand, a coin that has remained nearly untouched since it was struck can be surprisingly desirable. Brilliant mint luster, crisp design details, strong eye appeal, and the absence of distracting marks all contribute to higher grades. As fewer flawless examples survive over time, collectors become increasingly willing to compete for the finest known specimens. Many people believe that a dark, dirty, or tarnished coin must be rare because it looks old. In truth, dirt alone does not increase value. Cleaning a coin can actually reduce its desirability because it removes the original mint surface that experienced collectors prefer. If you discover a 1986 D quarter that appears unusual, resist the temptation to polish it. Keeping the coin in its natural condition gives it the best chance of maintaining any collectible value it may possess. The Washington quarter carries a remarkable legacy that stretches back to 1932, when it was introduced to honor George Washington, the first president of the United States. Over the decades, this iconic design has witnessed economic changes, historical milestones, and generations of everyday American life. The 1986 D issue represents another chapter in that continuing story, connecting modern collectors with a coin series that has remained popular for nearly a century. If you think your 1986 D quarter could be something special, examine it carefully under bright light. Look closely for unusual doubling in the lettering, missing details, striking abnormalities, or other signs of a genuine mint error. Compare it with a normal example whenever possible. If the coin appears exceptional, professional authentication and grading can help determine whether it possesses characteristics that make it attractive to advanced collectors. Exciting stories about valuable coins continue to inspire collectors because genuine discoveries have happened throughout history. While ordinary 1986 D quarters generally remain common, rare mint errors and exceptionally preserved examples have attracted strong collector demand and impressive auction prices. These unusual coins remind us that remarkable finds are sometimes hidden among everyday pocket change, waiting for someone with patience and knowledge to recognize them. As we reach the end of today's journey, remember that the greatest advantage in coin collecting is understanding what truly creates value. Knowledge, careful observation, and patience are far more important than sensational rumors. The 1986 D Washington quarter may appear ordinary, but its history, potential mint errors, and collectible high-grade examples continue to make it an interesting coin for enthusiasts around the world. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy discovering the hidden stories behind America's coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for another exciting adventure into the fascinating world of rare coin collecting.